Today's video is going to outline the setup of using power users with CIMcloud's Supervisor Order Approval Module. These modules are combined for use cases where accounts or supervisors need access to accounts outside of their own. So say, for example, you have supervisors who have 10, 15, 16, 20 accounts that they have inside of Sage that they need to approve orders on. That is the combination where you would require the Power Users module with also the Supervisor Order Approval module to give those users the ability to make approvals for those accounts. So what we're going to do is we're going to first walk through the setup of how this is done in the back end and kind of the pieces that make it up. And then I'm going to show you the front end of how it works from the customer's perspective. Now, this video assumes that you already have the Power Users module enabled on the website, and then you also have Supervisor Order Approval module turned on the website as well. And then you'll see these settings that we go through in this video. So first, we're going to start in the customer group section. So you will now see a new section in here for Supervisor Requires Order Approval. What this customer group does is it enforces that any account, customer, or anybody who's tied to this group is enforced to require approval on the order before they can submit it. So anybody with this group, they will see a section on the payment page that says, hey, you must get approval on this order before it's processed. So you can assign people to this group by either going to this member section down here and adding the accounts or the contacts, or you could do it directly on the accounts and contacts page. Next, we're going to dive into how it's set up on the account level. So what we've done here is we've set up two different accounts. One of the accounts is going to be the supervisor account. The simplest way to do this is to have one account that holds all your supervisors, so they're combined into one central holding account. These won't really have an account in Sage, but they'll just be the approvers, and they're all tied to one account. So assigning the groups to that one account is simpler to manage from the worker standpoint. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Edit here on the supervisor account to see how this one is set up. So if I drive down here to Parent National Account Settings, this account is set up as a Parent National Account. That means that any of the child accounts that are tied to this parent account will show up when a customer on this account logs into the website. So any of the supervisors that need access to more than just its own account will need this setting set to yes. So let's jump back here to the Manage Account page. And I'm going to show you what the login looks like on that supervisor account. So let's jump over here to Contacts. And we're going to drive into this SIM supervisor contact that we set up for testing. And we come down here, you can see that it's tied to that supervisor account that we just set up. And then you can see a few settings down here that are really relevant to the setup. So first, this customer is set up as a supervisor. So they have the yes flag set here, and you'll need to do this on any of the logins that need to be a supervisor or an approver. And then below, you'll see a setting here for what accounts this login has access to. So you could set it to my account only, or you could set it to my account and my child accounts. So my account and child accounts means that this login will see access to any of the other child accounts that's mapped to that supervisor account. All right. So if you have this all set up here now, you have the supervisor account and login created, and that person can then log into the website. Now, they're not going to see any accounts because there's no child accounts mapped to it. So let's jump back over to the Manage Account page to show you how you'd set up that child account. So this GA Check Inc. is set up as one of those child accounts. So if I come in here, I actually need to edit this account, not view it. So let's click Edit on here. And I scroll down to the Parent National Account Settings, and I'm going to see this one is a child account. So we have this set to yes. And then it is also assigned that Supervisor National Account. So now that it's assigned this, my supervisor users who are tied to this account and have the setting of my account and child accounts as the visibility option, they'll be able to see this account once they log into the website. Now, the other thing to do on this account is to make sure that they have Supervisor requires order approval as the customer group tied to this account. So this means any user on this account will have an option on the payment page that says this order requires approval. You can either put this on the account level and then it would cascade down to every user who's on the account, or you could do it one by one on the customers that are on the account. The downside to doing it on the customer is you would need to manage it on every new customer that's added to the account. The plus side of doing it on the account side is once you set it here, every customer under that account inherits that setting. Okay. So that's it on the setup. So now we're going to jump into the front end of the website. So I'm going to first walk you through kind of what it looks like as that requester or as that customer who's on the website, who's going to place that order, who's going to need approval. So we have, we're logged in here as a customer called CIM Order Requester. And I'm going to go through the checkout process as this requesting customer. Let's just pretend like this is a real order. So I'm going to set my shipping method. For this one, I just want it to be invoice. I'm going to test. Let's just call this demo video. Is the PO number. And now you'll see down here in the order actions, I only have the ability to save the cart or submit to my supervisor for approval. So for this one, I want to submit it to my supervisor for approval, and I'm going to name the order demo video test 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put in the comments. I'm not going to put anything in the comments, so I'm going to submit this to my supervisor. So this order has been submitted. Now what happens is the supervisor will now receive an email that states, hey, there's a pending order waiting for approval. Please log into the website and approve that order. So what we're going to do now is jump over to what the supervisor sees. So I'm going to log out. The quickest way for me to do this right now is just to delete the cookies. And I'm going to click sign in here, and I'm going to go in as CIM Supervisor. Now, what I'm going to see when I go in here and I go to pending orders is I am going to now see any order that's requiring approval that's on any of the accounts that are tied to my account as child account. So I won't just see orders that are on my account. I will see orders across all accounts that I'm associated with. And what I'll see down here is this first one, the test one that I just created. I'm going to click on the quote number here, and it's going to take me right to the payment page to process this order. So say I could change the shipping method if I wanted to, change the shipment comments. I could change the payment method if I had the credit card information saved and that's what they wanted. And I could change the name of the order if I wanted to, and then I can also approve or reject or save this order. So as that supervisor, I can just come in here and say, hey, let's approve this order and let's place it. So all I have to do is click approve and place, and this order is now fulfilled. So what happens now that this order is complete? It's completed on the website, so it will sync now into your ERP system, and then a confirmation email will also go out for that order. Now, another thing to note is under the account overview, you're now going to see, because you are a power user, you're going to see your child accounts and child contacts. This is going to give you access to those additional accounts that you're tied to. So you can see the accounts here, and you can also see their contacts directly on the child users page, where you could impersonate and essentially act like one of these logins to maybe build an order out for them if you wanted to create a specific order for a specific user using this impersonate functionality. All right, that wraps up everything with this power users and supervisor order approval video.